Guy didn't want to quit eating. Great spread you guys put on here. Real quick, a word from our sponsor, me. On your table is a brochure about T-shirt champions. Please feel free to read it. And 4 of you lucky folks, if you look inside of it, will win 12 free custom T-shirts from T-shirt champions. There should be a label, and if they may be at a chair where no one is sitting. So reach quick. Do I have a winner? Anybody win? Paul, did you stick the labels on? Oh, they're on the white sheet? Oh, excuse me. Okay. They're on the white sheet. They're on the price list? They're on the price list? Okay. Well, good. They're on the price list. How appropriate. Raise your hand if you won. All right, Jonathan won. Lady over here won. Let's get all 4 of us. And we got a lady over here grabbing ones that they're smart. All right. Congratulations, guys. Try our tshirtchampions.com web platform. Okay? All right. The other thing you're going to see is you're going to see a grand opening special, which tells you that you can get 50 T-shirts and above for only $5 each. Now, what that simply means is if you buy 50 T-shirts from T-Shirt Champions, it's $250. That's it. Free shipping, free art, free screens, free setup. That's what today's speech is all about, making it simple, okay? Making it easy. T-Shirt Champions, we make T-shirts easy. The other thing, I'm just full of wonderful stuff, you're gonna get a $25 off coupon for your first order, okay? So all of that is at your disposal on your table. And we invite y'all to please go online and learn more about T-Shirt Champions. Let me get my fancy technical cheat sheet here. And there's one other thing on your table that will tell you a little bit more about tshirtchampions.com than you really want to know. And I didn't want to. I can tell you more than you want to know. That's just kind of my MO, guys. What we did is we sent out a shareholder letter to everyone, and we have over 3,000 customers. And this was per our illustrious directions from our public relations agency, Obsidian. So you'll see that letter. And it was really interesting when we sent that letter out to all of Champion Awards and Apparel's customers, which many have been with us since day one. What we got was some that were congratulations, but we got quite a few concerns about were we going to quit making trophies, were we going to quit, doing buttons and promotional products, were we going to quit doing our general services. So I had to send out another one that said change is upon us and it's okay. So if y'all, when you take a moment, you can read that and it'll give you a little idea of the honest and the beginning of why we decided to do this. This has been a 4-year undertaking for my little company. And I'm going to start today with the little dog and pony show. Right before we did the grand opening, which we had a grand opening, 2 weeks ago? And we had about 150 people come. I got the video you're about to see, and it was kind of that aha moment that, hey, this is the reason why, don't tell my wife, she's the CFO of the company, she's right here, that our little company is spending way in the 6 figures to rebrand our company over the next 2 years, okay? Don't tell her that because she thinks I'm crazy already. She's still let me live with her for over 34 years. Everybody give her a big hand for doing that. So I bribed her into coming here today. Said we had a great lunch, and wasn't I right, baby? All right, thank you. So this little video was just an aha moment, and then right after it, when we announced it, I got another one, and I'll let them speak for themselves. I'll comment a little bit, but anyway, hit it, Paul.
I can't believe we made it. According to today's regulators and bureaucrats, those of us who were kids in the 50s, 60s, 70s, or even early 80s probably should not have survived. Our baby cribs were covered with bright-colored lead-based paint. We had no child-proof lids or locks on medicine bottles, doors, or cabinets. And when we rode our bikes, we had no helmets. We drank water from the garden hose, not from a bottle. We ate cupcakes, bread, and butter, and drank soda with lots of sugar. But we were rarely overweight because we were always outside playing. We would leave home in the morning and play all day, as long as we were back when the streetlights came on. No one was able to reach us all day. Smartphones? We didn't have cell phones at all. No PlayStations, Xboxes, limitless channels on cable, laptops, or tablets. Facebook was an actual face and an actual book. We had friends. We went outside and found them. We played dodgeball, and sometimes the ball would hurt. We fell out of trees, got cut, and broke bones and teeth. And there were no lawsuits from these accidents. No one was to blame but us. Our actions were our own. Consequences were expected. The idea of parents bailing us out if we got in trouble in school or broke a law was unheard of. They actually sided with the school or the law. Imagine that. Now this generation has produced some of the best risk takers, problem solvers, and inventors ever. We had freedom, failure, success, and responsibility, and we learned how to deal with it. If you've related to anything that was just said, you're one of them. Congratulations. You made it.
Oh, I'm trying. So, I don't think I've made it. I'm 57. That's my old sign. Okay, it's kind of boring, isn't it? Now, this is our old website. It's a standard information-based, boring website. The biggest thing it doesn't allow you to do is to buy something from us. And that's what we do. We sell t-shirts. So, this hit my new sign, brand new sign, not boring. Brand new website, not boring. Am I doing that? Am I doing that? New commercials. Can we raise that volume? Hurry up.
Ordering these t-shirts from t-shirtchampions.com is so easy.
I know, it's almost easy as spring.
Hey guys, you want to keep it down in there? Some of us are trying to work.
Sorry, Frank.
We make t-shirts fun.
Ordering these shirts from t-shirtchampions.com is going to make our staff meetings a lot more fun.
So how do you think we can get rid of,
Yeah, Balkers, you're fired.
T-shirtchampions.com does these shirts really fast.
Yeah, I just don't know how they get them to us so quickly.
I bet they wear clothes that are very aerodynamic.
Well, anyway, the sweatshirts look great.
And we make t-shirts look good.
T-shirtchampions.com made our t-shirts look really good.
I agree, but why should I have to show Mike?
Because he looks good and he's the king of cool. Hey Mike, have you seen our t-shirts?
Looks good, really good.
So all the commercials were great except that last one. Okay, so you always got to throw an old guy in there.
Brandon. Brandon, what
Oh, hey guys, this is Brandon at T-Shirt
This is our radio spot.
And I personally guarantee
Disregard
you
the video.
custom printed t-shirts cheaper, faster, and better than anywhere else.
And I'm Marissa. My job is to make t-shirts easy. Brandon, how are we gonna do all this?
We can do all this because I never sleep.
What do you mean you never sleep?
We're at T-shirtchampions.com. We take orders 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. Somebody's got to make sure the customer's happy.
Are you crazy? Our website does that for us. I make sure it does.
So you mean I can finally sleep?
Yes, Brandon, you can rest. Because at t-shirtchampions.com, we make t-shirts easy. Brandon, the website.
Okay. Visit us today at T-shirtchampions.com. That's T-shirtchampions.com.
Or give us a call at 901-365-4830.
So let's give everybody, all these wonderful actors and actresses, a big hand. Let me introduce you real quick to my staff who helped me. I'm project pretty good, so I'm not real good with microphones. Y'all can hear me all right, right? Okay. Yeah, it's my wife will tell you I don't need a microphone. Bonkers, played by our webmaster Paul Gardino. Stand up, Paul. We're gonna make fun of you. Ebenezer, played by our sales manager Colby Bowen. We always have to have a good-looking blonde in the commercial, played by our art director Nikki Frierson. And we have a good-looking Auburn, I guess, communications manager, Marissa Croft. Where's our We Make T-Shirts Fast guy? Patrick Brown, our customer service manager. Oh, our illustrious director of operations, Sarah Kincaid. So, am I missing? And our illustrious vice president of customer happiness. How do you like that new wave West Coast title? Brandon Connors. There's a running theme at that table. Most of them are all under the age of 30 or bordering that. So I set out, I just don't believe I've made it. I think that's hokey. I can't spell the word retire. In the t-shirt business, I'm going to have to work till I'm 102 anyway. So I needed, and I'll say my company, we needed a new theme. We needed a brand. Let me ask real quick, because there was some confusion in the marketplace, a lot of confusion. If you can believe it, after 44 years of being in the marketplace, still, what do? I'll give you an example. I have a friend of mine I've known for 30 years, calls me last year. He's bought some t-shirts from us. He calls me last year and says, "Do you do plaques?" Champion Awards, okay? So we're one of the top 25 t-shirt printers in the country, and we still get calls, "Do you print t-shirts?" Let me ask you, what was your perception of Champion Awards in apparel? Can I get a guinea pig? Okay, what do we do? What does an award and an apparel mean to you? I'm gonna call on you, Jonathan.
Like
Trophies, okay? We sell trophies. You're right. Anybody else? Uniforms. We sell sporting team uniforms, right? Champion and sporting team uniforms kind of go hand in hand, right? What else? Yes, we do some embroidery. Is there anything else? So you see, let me get real quick. I'll tell you, and I'm skipping around here, but consider this. 66% of our sales are custom printed t-shirts. 20% is embroidered apparel. 7% is promotional products, and only 7% are awards. What are we? We're a custom printed t-shirt company. And that's why we decided to rebrand. That's why Champion decided to rebrand. Why should you decide to rebrand? I'm going to give you, I don't want to stand up here and act like I'm an expert on rebranding, okay? I know we've done an awful lot of research, 4 years of it, in fact. We made a lot of mistakes. I call it the stupid tax. We spent about 50 grand in mistakes. And one of the major mistakes was we went out of town for some services. So if any of y'all need an in-town reference, okay, the first and foremost thing we wanted to do is that we're a local company by local people for local customers. And dummy me, and I've been preaching on that for years, but dummy me went out of town for an e-commerce site. Because quite frankly, we scared a lot of folks of what we wanted to do, a lot of web companies of what we wanted to do with an e-commerce platform. But why should we rebrand our company? And I've given you a little background, but we are a successful 44-year-old third-generation family business. We employ over 40 employees, and sales right now are a little below 5 million. But our sales have leveled out over the last 3 years. Our past platform of sales was like most of you, word of mouth, reputation, and unfortunately event-driven. Give you a little example. We start every year with what event is going to take place, what event's not going to take place. This year, we start with approximately $500,000 less of events than what we had last year. So consider, and most of y'all, a lot of y'all are in the same boat. Consider that 10 to 15% of our business every year is gone. We have to manage our business that way. And it's tough. It's tough. I had my first heart attack at 43. I'd say that's my first and last. It's kind of like my wife, my first and last. But also, unfortunately, even though we had a great team, they were just really having to work harder. Increasingly harder just to maintain the present sales level. And as a CEO, you have to be really empathetic for that. For those of us non-millennials, we grew up living to work. Everybody heard that before? You live to work. That's what I was brought up to do. If I still had energy to drag myself to bed at night, then my mother was the kind of mom that says, well, you didn't study hard enough. Or you have time to come work at the trophy shop. We've learned a little bit from the millennials. It's work to live. And I want to thank them for that. I really do. And I've finally learned how to do that. But we still got to grow because our payroll has increased exponentially more than our growth in the last 3 years. To attract all these wonderful folks to a family-owned company, run by a crazy guy like me, you got to pay well. And we've always paid well. We have average employee at Champion has been with us over 15 years. Okay, we have an employee that's been with us, your assistant, 34 years out of 44. We have several in their mid-20s. And when I made this rule up about 25 years ago and said if you've been with us 20 years, we pay completely for your major medical, which we pay 50% of all your major medical now. We have corporate benefits. We've always done that. We just decided that that's the right thing to do. The holidays, the sick days, the vacation pay, all of that. We have, I think, 10 out of the 40-something employees that have complete major medical paid. So in the same 3 years, our payroll and benefits have increased to over 35% of our present sales. So we got to grow. It has been our mission also to give back over 10% of our net profit to our community. And that's been between $50,000 to $75,000 a year for a long time in merch, services, volunteer hours, and cash. But it's all over the map. We just really weren't getting any public recognition or any streamline of that mission. So why and when to rebrand? Again, I want to emphasize that I want you to have 3 takeaways. This is the first one. Now, if you have a client or you're in a company that has those situations, you got to actually take a step back. And I took a step back 5 years ago and I said, we really need to stop this confusion, because guess what? Champion Awards and Apparel just wasn't easy to find. It just wasn't easy to understand what we did. So a CEO's job is to grow the company and create more consistent value. That's the major reason why you rebrand. We provide graphic services, we provide printing services, packaging and fulfillment services. We'll do anything you want us to do within our parameters. We have a 40,000 square foot plant. We're a manufacturing facility. We're the old-fashioned company. We don't broker. We're not smart enough to do that. We actually do the work ourselves. We print, we embroider, we make trophies, we design. But we only get paid when we sell an actual product. And then I told you what our sales were. So we need to sell more products. We have great service. What the public doesn't know is that our largest customers are resellers of our products, such as FedEx Uniforms Company. We're fortunate. It's kind of our little light bulb account over here. All those Navy t-shirts, Navy sweatshirts, Navy jackets that you've seen all over the streets since a lot of you were born, for FedEx, they come from little Champion Awards and Apparel at Mendenhall and Winchester. Our second biggest customer, Varsity Spirit tees for cheerleaders all over the country. A lot of 12 and 15 piece orders for cheerleaders. And of course, the many tourist attractions in our area like National Civil Rights Museum, Stax, Bill Street, and so on. And we don't forget our licensed products. Jonathan told you a little bit. We are licensees of the University of Memphis. I say we rent a license. They give us the opportunity to reproduce their marks. University of Memphis, AutoZone Liberty Bowl, GoDaddy Bowl, and the Redbirds. So to grow, we needed to increase our sales of t-shirts to other areas. Schools, churches, sporting events, and charity events, okay? We have over 150 nonprofits as charities. 150 nonprofits as customers. But again, those customers were using us for awards. Some of them were, and they wouldn't use us for t-shirts. They would use us for t-shirts. They wouldn't use us for awards. So we were in a little bit of a hole. So we said we needed a new platform that allows the millennial generation easy access. Our research shows that millennials would rather do it themselves than take orders from an old fat white guy like me. That's a joke, guys. Okay. The goal of any CEO should be to create value without relying on the principles of the company. Okay? So you all understand that takeaway. You rebrand to create value for your company. Okay? It's very simple put. That's the single largest reason why you do it. Secondly, so how do you do that? So we needed to create a platform for this commodity that makes it easier for your target audience to reach you. Our present platform, sales, order entry, creative design, and production process was dated. It was taking approximately a day, 2 days to process an order. When you're trying to process, help me here, Sarah, 12,000 orders a year, that's a lot of work. Okay, a lot of little t-shirt orders. It would have been easier just to add a design online platform to Champion Awards and Apparel. But again, our research shows that there was continued confusion as to who actually Champion Awards and Apparel actually was. And that would have been a pretty weak tactic. In my infinite wisdom, one of my greatest mistakes was, in 1985, my mom's trophy company, Champion Trophy, my dad's t-shirt printing company, Custom Printed Tees, I merged them together into a fancy name called Champion Awards and Apparel. I was a marketing guru. Guess what? 20 years later, this thing called the internet, awards and apparel, does not what? Search. Doesn't search. We don't use awards, an award, or an apparel in our vocabulary, especially down here in the South. We don't do it. We sell t-shirts and trophies. And we needed to get that point across. So Brandon and I spent about a year, I think we bought over 100 domain names. That was some money we wasted. And all of a sudden it dawned on me, let's just flip our name. We sell t-shirts. We're the t-shirt champions. And instead of all that money I spent, you really don't know how much I did, do you? But, Susie. But for $9.95, we got a domain name. It's really important for me to make sure my wife is happy. The strategy of a name change coupled with a new website and promotion of it allows the public better focus on the largest profit center of your company. Our order entry process has been improved over 30%. Why? Because millennials want to do it themselves. Our research also found that they don't really trust older people. Okay? Why? Because we did not grow up in the computer age. Most millennials, and that's your 30 and under, have never been without a computer. Okay? Now, I had to learn to become a techie. This is my office. My employees, my team, doesn't like it that I come sit in their office and bug the heck out of them, but this is my office, the infamous iPad. We are an Apple company. Our whole company's a Mac house. We have 20-something iPhones. We have 54 computers for 40 employees. So we're pretty technologically sound. We have the cloud. So we spent a lot of money in doing that, and that was even prior to this. So hence the new name change and the new focus to the public, and most of all, our tshirtchampions.com website incorporates our remarkable features of great products, as you saw, faster service and cheaper prices and ease of ordering. What we had to do there is we had to choose the top 5 companies. Now let me put this in parameter. The t-shirt online industry is a $2 billion industry in this country. And when people always ask me, and you'll see it in the letter, in the 80s, people asked me what was, everybody always, who's your competition? In the 80s, it was ourselves. We grew from $500,000 to $11 million in 6 years. Take a moment to figure that out. $500,000 to $11 million in 6 years. Then a little thing hit in the 90s, and I used to tell folks, well, it was ourselves. In the 90s, it became NAFTA. Anybody know what NAFTA stands for? North America Free Trade Agreement. Our company was cut in half in about 3 years. All of those t-shirt contracts that we had with the Nikes and the Izods and the OPs and the Disneys and the NFLs and all of those, where did they go? Honduras, Guadalajara. Now they've since gone to Bangladesh, Cambodia, Vietnam. We had 23 million textile jobs in the 80s. We have a little over 2 million only left in this country. That's not news. Manufacturing, we're not a manufacturing society. It also has become harder to find people who want to work in manufacturing facility, which we've done a really good job of that. I'll tell you about that in a minute. So so that's the second takeaway, guys. The second takeaway was you got to be able to be found, okay? And we think we did that. So we haven't finished yet. The third thing is we had to embrace our market, and we also had to have a platform that allowed us to grow outside the market. You know, Memphis is a small fishbowl. We need to do business in Grenada, Mississippi. We need to do business in Oxford. We need to do business in Millington, Tennessee. We need to do business in Covington. We need to do business in Humboldt. But we're a foreign country to most of those folks, okay? We're the capital of Miss Arc 10, that fantasy state. Have y'all ever heard that? Miss Arc 10 or 10 Miss Arc, okay? No? And a lot of customers have it. So you must be findable, linkable, and forwardable. You must be on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest, because all of them are the old yellow pages of yesteryear, the Better Business Bureau, and the old word of mouth marketing, all wrapped up into one. Does everybody agree with that? I mean, we have to track, we have to trend. I'm on Twitter now. I think I have 22 followers. Most of them think I'm my son, Michael Bowen, but hey, I'll get a follower any way I can. But since we started since Marissa started the trending on Facebook, we have we're getting close to 1,300 fans on Facebook. I started Facebook, 5 years ago? I'm almost at 3,500 friends. Now, I don't know, maybe 50 of them, but I actually get business from those friends, okay? So those social media, they're much more powerful and credible in spreading the word, okay? You don't need the Better Business Bureau anymore because Facebook's going to tell folks if they weren't happy with you, okay? Somebody's going to tweet. So we've embraced this by hiring a wonderful manager of communications, new webmaster, art director, promoted a salesperson to sales manager, as I said, all under the age of 30. We also solicited the help of Obsidian, Rocket Fuel, and Running Pony. We did get our act together, and we looked around the city, and I now have a much greater respect and admiration for you folk, okay? I was a journalism major for about 10 minutes until I found out what writers make. Now, that was back in the 70s, okay? And we didn't have all the opportunities to, and I had a face for radio, so I didn't have TV as an option, okay? So, and I'm a pretty average writer, as most of my teachers told me. So I said, you know, I can do my own PR. I can do all this. Well, no, not as good as Obsidian. We couldn't do our CMS as good as Rocket Fuel. And we certainly couldn't do commercials as well as Running Pony. So they really helped turn our crew into wonderful actors and actresses. We didn't have to pay for talent, you know, outside of what their pay is. And they had fun. They had fun doing it. And that's another thing in this third takeaway is that the rebranding should be fun. It should be something that everyone in your company or your clients should be able to put their arms around and have some fun with. And we're having fun with T-Shirt Champions. It just sounds more fun than Champion Awards and Apparel, doesn't it? Doesn't it? So T-Shirt Champions, we hope, is going to be a household name. We're spending an awful lot of money on media over the next 2 years. And let me go back to what I was going to say a while ago. We had to find who were the best in that $2 billion industry. And so we found 4 companies. And most of you have heard of Custom Ink, okay? If you haven't, don't Google them, okay? Google T-Shirt Champions, all right? So we looked at Custom Ink. That little company in 13 years went from 0 to 160, 170 million in 13 years. And why? Because they KIS tested. One price, free shipping, free art, free screens in 10 days. Now, so we looked at those services they were providing, and we said, we're going to make our services better, okay? They give one price per each color of ink you're going to put on a shirt. We give one price up to 6 colors. So we got them. We beat them there. 10 days. We're 7 days. We're the only company in the country that's doing that. How can we do that? We're in America's distribution center. We also have a 5-day service. And by July, we're going to have a 3-day service. So we don't want customers or you calling us and saying, you know, I just got this order and it's Thursday and I really need them by Friday. Bring it on. Bring it on. We want your t-shirt business. And that's what we're going to portray to everyone. We don't have any rules. I hate rules. I'm a child of the 60s. I don't like them. So we decided to get rid of them. And that, in essence, is the bottom line of what we did. We know now what is being said about us by soliciting real-time testimonials. Again, we're findable. Active Facebook and Twitter feeds. Heck, we even have our own channel, TSC TV, on YouTube. I don't know if anybody's going to watch that, but they may watch all of them besides that last one. But we're also touting our mission of giving back our t-shirts with a T-Shirts Give Back program. We've raised over $16,000 in the last year for the Fallen Officer Memorial with those Memphis Rocks t-shirts. We contribute a percentage, even if we give them away, we contribute a percentage of that cost of that shirt to the Fallen Officer Memorial. Fallen Officer, we're the only city in the country that does not have a memorial to our fallen officers. And there's over 60 fallen officers or officers that have been killed in action in this city over the years. We also, Marissa came up with this idea, we also are going to give away 100 free t-shirts to each month to a worthy charity chosen by the Facebook fans. They vote on 3 charities, okay? The crew chooses 3 charities, and we put them up, and they're voted on. So again, we keep the fun alive going, the interaction. The millennial wants to change the world, and we want to be a part of that change. And now we can embrace that change, and we embrace the market. In closing, I have 2 main personality traits. Susie will probably tell you more, but one positive, I'm a change artist. And one, I'm open to most new things, okay? I'll try anything once, okay? Even if I know I'm going to fail now, or that idea will not be so good. And one negative, I'm a change artist. I don't have a lot of patience, so I rush into a lot of things too. Rebranding, though, is a long-term strategy, and it's costly. But as a beginning metric, since February, we've received over 14 orders from the T-Shirt Champions platform, and only 2 of them have been from Memphis. Now, that's not a great metric, enough metric to judge how it's going to go. But as a customer, if we were to base that customer in our top 3,000 customers, it's already in our top 500 customers, just in 6 weeks. So I'm really proud of this team. I really appreciate you having me. I'm going to open, well, first of all, let me show you the dog and pony show up here, is that this is some of our illustrious work dating back to the 80s. We even have a shirt here. You can tell, hopefully down here at the bottom, you can tell we've gotten a lot better where my brother actually drew the Memphis Coliseum and stuck the Kansas album, the cover of the Kansas album on top of it. That was in 1979, and I decided to go back to school, to Memphis State, because I had to run from the cops because we were bootlegging t-shirts in front of the Coliseum. So I said, Dad and my brother, y'all can have the t-shirt business. A few years later, it just seemed to be my destiny. But I'm going to open the floor to questions. We don't have a lot of time. I'm not going to keep you, but bring it on. Yes, sir.
One, you were talking about in the beginning, you had some resistance, it sounded like, from some of your close customers or clients, and I think you could you elaborate a little more on that, at how you were communicating this change to those that thought, well,
Thank you. Thank you for the lead in. In 10, and I didn't write this because I'm a self-promoter, but I will promote my blog now. In 10, I started writing. Okay, I'm a writer, and I felt like I needed to write. I had something to say. I was getting older, and there was this thing called blogs, right? That was the ego part. The real reason was, though, we had 1,200 contacts is all we had in our system. Now, I knew we had 3,000 customers at that time. So we only had 1,200 in the system? Wait a minute. You know, we weren't putting in the contacts that were in our customer base file into our contact system. Does that sound like a common practice or a common problem? Okay, so I had a meeting with the whole company and I said, guess what? We're gonna have 10,000 contacts by, what, 2013? And everybody said, oh, you're crazy. There's no way. So I needed to find out if the contacts were accurate. So how do we come up with it? And, you know, email marketing. So I started a blog called Business Advice from a Grown-Up Kid. And I did put on my better jeans today. I did wear my better t-shirt. My wife said, is that what the heck you're gonna wear? And I said, yeah, I'm a t-shirt guy. And that blog now goes out every week. 15,000 readers in 4 years. We now have almost 11,000 contacts, and they're accurate. So we send that blog out every week, and we get read. We have an average over 1,000 unique opens. That's 10 times the average. 1 to 2% is the average. So I'm pretty proud of that. The biggest reason, though, is it keeps my team on their toes to repair the bounce backs from that blog. So we may get an average of 20 or 30 or 40, you know, a week of bounce backs, but if we look at them, it says I'm no longer here and contact this person. Well, we glean that contact person and we, you know, email them. And we also try to keep up with that person where they've gone. You know, I want you from cradle to grave as a customer. You know, just because you're no longer at CVB, Jonathan, I'm going to track you down forever. We have to. This is a small market. So, you know, T-Shirt Champions is also going to hopefully, in my lifetime, allow us to grow into a regional company. Okay? We really, Oxford over here, on the phone while I'm talking. Excuse me, I just busted her. Oh yeah, you're working. Okay. She got the free lunch and she's working. Okay. But she tells us how much business is in Oxford. Okay. My dad's from and stepmom are from Jackson and Humboldt. A lot of business there. I justified this expense with saying I could hire 5 more salespeople or customer care people. How could I get them trained this quick? It takes an average of 3 years, and then we never know if they're going to stay with us. So with a platform like this that makes it easy to order, I don't need salespeople. Okay, actually, people going out and pressing the flesh. That model is gone. It really is. Are there any other questions? Did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
The program you have that would support charities.
Oh, I knew that was coming. Yeah, we give, my wife will tell you, we just give money out the door every day. Go ahead.
What is the registration process for a nonprofit?
If you do business with me, okay? I get 2 to 3 requests a day for a little company, okay? And I get some of the wildest requests. I got one yesterday that says, do you sponsor family reunions? Yes, I give you the cheapest price on t-shirt that you can get for a family reunion. We actually have a category in our design platform, which, by the way, we have a library. We took all of the library, not all, we're working on it. It's about 25% of it now. We took our library of our graphics, which we have approximately 40,000 graphics in our library, and we have now downloaded over 10,000 of them and categorized them for you to, if you have a family reunion, you can go online and see about 40 designs for family reunions. But yeah, I got a request for a sponsorship of family reunion. I don't have a registration process. I didn't. I do now. It's Marissa Croft. She's in charge of the Give Back program. Okay, and she's now going to have to be the one to say no. Because people know I own the company. How do I say no? Okay? How does my wife say no? You know, we're on the boards. I'm on the executive committee and the board for Leadership Memphis. It's the only board I'm on. And why? Because I can help your nonprofits more, and I've been on several, 100 it seems like. But I can help your nonprofits better by making sure you don't spend too much money on trophies and t-shirts and the stuff we sell. You know, I hate it when a nonprofit comes in and says, you know, we had 30 t-shirts left over last year from a 100 t-shirt order. Well, the person taking the business did not take a moment to do the metrics and take an interest in what their crowd was going to be. We do that. We wait till the last moment. If you have an event this weekend, Colby knows he can wait till Monday to take your order, and we still get it done. That stops the nonprofits from spending money. How do you raise money with nonprofits? Don't spend money. That's the first thing, right? Is there anything else? Come on, hit any other. All right, I've bored you enough, right? Okay. Guys, thank you for your time. Appreciate you having me here. And again, big thanks to Obsidian for their help to our future. And I told Thomas they're going to be with us for a long time, and we're really proud to be associated with them. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Jonathan.